Step 1 is to remove everything from my drawers so I can show you a visual of what I had in mind. I've seen a lot of people organize their drawers with 3D printing, but there's one thing I want to try that nobody has done before. It's to add underglow LEDs to the drawer bins because I think that could look awesome. And as you can see, it looks promising. So, time for step 2. I took the measurements of my IKEA Malm drawer and used a free online tool to generate and create a custom perfect fit Gridfinity baseplate for it. What's cool about this is that it automatically splits the entire baseplate into smaller modular parts so you can easily print them one by one. I printed the baseplate for the first drawer with transparent filament because I want the underglow to look as good as possible. The second and third drawers won't use underglow, so I just use any old filament I had laying around. By the way, I made a simple 3D model of a spacer that's meant to elevate the baseplate of the first drawer so the LEDs can fit below the baseplate and to improve the softness of the underglow once the LEDs are installed. After making the first prototype, I downloaded the model and made a quick test print. There goes the first one. And now we need like 20 more. I'm installing them on the edges of the drawer and in an S-shaped pattern so that I can install the LEDs across the entire bottom of the drawer. And now that they are installed, let's see how it fits because I didn't take any measurements and I completely eyeballed everything very carefully. I mean, considering that I improvised almost everything, it looks pretty decent. By the way, a bit later in the video, I will show you how I fixed this huge cable mess I had and how I made a clutter-free smart charging station in the first drawer. Step 3 is to start layout planning. I started by putting things back into the drawers to see how they would fit and decided to put all the things that have batteries or need charging in the first drawer, then the camera bodies and lenses and some commonly used items in the second drawer, and then everything else goes to a third drawer. After moving things around and coming up with a layout that I liked, it's time to use the second tool we'll need. I took a picture of all the things that will go on the first and second drawer so I could make custom bins for them. After taking the pictures, I loaded them to a website called Tool Trace, and by using a piece of A4 paper as a reference, it traces the edge of the tool in the picture and makes a custom Gridfinity bin with a perfect cutout for it. And it works for every bin because, for example, the lens I have here is very large, so it created a huge bin. But Tool Trace has a toggle that splits the part into smaller modular parts so we can print them piece by piece just like we did with the base plate. And the best part is that I don't need to 3D model almost anything. Using this single tool, I was able to make the bins for every single item in the first and second drawer in a single day very easily. Okay, time for step 4. Let's print out all the bins and see how they look. And as you can see, this bin was originally very big, but Tooltrace split it into 3 parts so we could print them one by one. By the way, given that I'm not gonna use underglow for the second drawer, I printed some colored infills that go inside the cutouts so the second drawer is a bit more colorful and it highlights the bin when something is missing so I know exactly where things go. I use the automatic Tooltrace bins for complex items like the cameras, but for simpler items I just made rectangles and circles that match their diameter or size. Also, you remember when I said that I planned out everything carefully? Well, me neither. I was kinda lazy and I improvised a lot. So now I have a few awkward gaps, but don't worry, I have the perfect solution. And to be fair, maybe I could have used these 3 gaps for a small bin, but I thought this was funnier so I just printed 3 more filler blocks. Oh, and I used a 3D printed cable organizer to fix this loose cable I had in this bin. By the way, if you're wondering why there are some parts missing, it's because I'm using the cameras to film, so obviously the camera drawer is gonna be a bit empty because I'm using the cameras. And now that the second drawer is done and things don't slide around anymore, it's time to do the first drawer. By the way, the 3D printer I'm using is the Bambu A1 Mini, and it's one of the 3 tools that are essential to make this work. Not only it is super easy to use because it auto-calibrates everything, it also has a built-in touchscreen that lets you control the printer very easily. And my favorite part is that you can use the Bambu Handy app to check how the prints are doing using the built-in camera inside the A1 Mini. So I can easily walk away and come back to a perfect print every single time. And now for the first drawer, we'll use the AMS system to do multicolor prints so we can have the transparent bottom and then the white top. So huge thanks to Bambu for sponsoring this video, and let's finish the first drawer. You will see the results once the LEDs are turned on in just a minute, but here the concept, as you can see, is that I have a white top and a translucent bottom so the LEDs can shine through in order to get a soft underglow effect. But obviously, as I kind of improvised everything, some parts didn't quite work as expected. For example, when I made the cutout for the microphones, I forgot that they had a clip attached to the side, so the square wasn't gonna work. Luckily, I realized that you could just flip it 90 degrees and it works more or less just fine, so I just ran with it. By the way, the idea here was to leave an empty space in the center so I could put things like my phone, camera, microphone or random accessories that I needed to charge, and then everything else has a dedicated spot with a charging port facing the center channel so I could easily connect them to charge when needed. But first I need to find a solution to this huge cable mess, otherwise it wouldn't look any better than how it used to look. Luckily, the solution was quite simple. Bambu Lab has a 3D model platform called MakerWorld, and all I had to do was search for a 3D model of a cable organizer using my phone and send it to the A1 Mini to print. So I actually didn't need to 3D model anything, and just after a 10-second search in the Bambu Handy app, I found a perfect solution for my problem. So while I waited for the cable organizers to print to fix this cable mess, I started to make a plan to see how I could sort the third drawer that was full of random gear. And the fix was very simple. I simply searched for Gridfinity bins inside MakerWorld, and there are a lot of options already, so I just picked one that looked good and printed a bunch of different sized bins to fill the third drawer. The cool part about the Gridfinity bins is that they are stackable, so I can layer them and not waste any space. Oh, and I made a quick tool trace for this precision screwdriver kit that I got like 10 years ago for $1 and my LTT screwdriver. By the way, I actually ended up liking the generic bins a lot because they are perfect for all the small items that you cannot or you don't really need to tool trace and make custom bins for. Because one downside of the tool trace is that that bin that you made with the cutout for that specific tool only works for that one thing, but the generic bins can be reused for anything and there are infinite sizes available in MakerWorld already. Okay, time for the second to last step. Let's fix the cable management first and then we can plug in the LEDs and see how it looks. The cable organizer works in a very simple way. I mean, basically it rolls the cable inside it and we don't have a cable mess anymore. Let's go. I'm using a cable organizer for each of the different cables in this charging station, and I stack them vertically so I can grab them one by one and use them as I need. As you can see, it's very easy to extend and retract the cables so I can use them for any of the items inside the drawer, and I can even charge things outside of it or use the cable somewhere else. Okay, we have a little problem here. The old LED strip that I use as a charging indicator to know when the charging station is on fell off, so let's quickly fix it. Just so you know, this LED strip turns on with the charging station at the same time when I turn on the charging station with a voice command. So it's basically a visual cue for me to know if the charging station is on or off, so I can turn it off overnight or once I'm done charging things. Okay, final step is to plug in the underglow and see how it looks. And this is me realizing that I forgot that the LED strip had a power brick and I didn't make room for it in the drawer. But not only that, no way! I wired the LED strip the wrong way. I thought that the power cable would have a male connector, so I wired the female connector to the end of the drawer where I was planning on connecting the thing, but it turns out it was female. So here's a quick time lapse of me undoing the entire thing and fixing it. Okay, moment of truth. The LED should work. Whoa! Oh my god. Okay. This looks cool, Okay. Nice. And now, finally, we're actually getting it done. By the way, as you can see, the transparent baseplate is diffusing the light very well. I only had to make a small mod, which was to cut a small piece to let the power cable pass through, because I ended up installing the power brick behind the drawer outside of it, which actually worked perfectly. And now, after all that work, it's time to reinstall all the bins and see how the final result looks. And after all that work, we have a perfectly organized third drawer of camera gear. The second drawer contains my camera bodies, lenses, and commonly used items. And the first drawer looks even better than I anticipated. I'm really happy with how it ended up looking. The LED underglow looks way better in person than it looks on camera. I'm trying to film it, but they are so bright and colorful that the LEDs get overexposed all the time, so it's hard to get a good shot, but they look amazing. There are infinite custom lighting options that I can do, and I think my favorite one is this blue starry night effect. Let me know what you think in the comments and make sure to subscribe if you like this video. Also, make sure to watch this video over here if you want to see more high effort content.